IVM.
Hi everybody, just wanted to ask everyone for a quick favor. We're running a brand survey right now and would really appreciate it if you could let us know what you think about the advertising on IVM. Go to ivmpodcast.com/survey and do let us know. As part of this, we'll be selecting 10 random participants and sending them some IVM swag, so do fill out those surveys.
All right, hello, welcome to Football Twaddle Seconds. Oh God, what am I even saying? And I'm so stunned because we have our friend Tanuj Baru here.
What is up? What is up?
And Yash Sawant, what's up?
All good, buddy.
All right, before we talk about the awesomeness of Chelsea and Lukaku, since the Arsenal represent is
Oh
here,
man,
dude, is that why you don't come on the podcast anymore? Because you'll be asked questions about Arteta.
no, I came just in time for the midweek cup fixtures, and I think set up a nice preview for that. We don't look to the past anymore. I'm here just to preview the midweek cup fixtures.
So
And
yes,
hoping that Arsenal find a way to get past West Brom, the mighty West Brom. Nice.
oh, how the mighty have fallen. Yes, he's gotten the dreaded vote of confidence from the board.
Yes, I saw that.
So, does that mean he's going to be sacked next month, or he's going to start winning games?
No, my only question is how many games does Vieira have to not lose to get the job now? I mean, he pulled off a draw for Crystal Palace in the last game week, so
Did he?
people are praising him.
Man, what is this nonsense? But you think it? I don't think.
What do you mean by nonsense, dude? Like Vieira is an actual legend. Arteta was, whatever.
I know, but why would they go to Vieira? Like that makes no sense.
Come on, dude. That's the flavor of the times, right? Chelsea appointed Lampard and
And Arsenal appointed Arteta. They
Arteta.
were
And
bad in
Ljungberg.
appointing. They couldn't even
And
identify a
Ljungberg.
legend. they
Yeah, so,
got the
I mean,
wrong legend.
I mean, see, there's also the case that the particular manager will want to. He should want to come to Arsenal, right? Conte doesn't want to come to Arsenal. It's so obvious.
Oh yeah. Conte wants to. Conte and Arsenal are not going to work together. He
Yeah.
will walk out of the club in like 6 hours. Hotel से ही बाहर चला जाएगा.
Right. So yeah, I mean, if they
Are you
can
gonna
find
say
if they
are you
can
gonna say
find an
they'll have
equivalent
to-
of Nuno, then fine. Otherwise, I mean,
they'll
it's
have
the
to
Vieira
get him
thing.
like Manchester City got Robinho? It's a club in London. Just come.
Yes. Okay, Baru. Now that we have enough data points, is Unai Emery a better manager than Mikel Arteta?
If you're sticking with the data, then yeah, of course he is.
What are you
But
sticking on otherwise?
If we are sticking to the revolution, the plans of the revolution, then of course Arteta is still ahead because he has coined it, and Emery just didn't have a good enough PR team to actually market his strategies.
Evolution. It was called evolution for him. Yeah, yes, I hear a lot of our Arsenal friends, fans saying that this squad of Arsenal players is good enough to finish probably 6th or like 5th or 6th,
In
right?
the championship.
Well, that's not what they meant. But Arteta is holding them back. I actually saw the squad. I don't think they're really good, man.
Yeah, I mean, they have a decent bunch of youngsters. They have Martinelli, Saka, and the 3 N's that I keep talking about, which is Nketiah, Maitland-Niles, and who's the other guy? Nielsen.
Reece Nielsen.
Nelson.
Nelson.
The
Right,
3
so-
ends, man. Shit.
So yeah, so they could be a good team maybe a couple of years into the future. So they're clearly not good enough for Arteta or anyone else to do anything with. And by anything, I mean finish in the top 4.
Okay. The last thing, do you know where Arsenal Mumbai screenings happen, Baru? It happens in 3 wise ends. All right. Let's move on from Arsenal and let's talk about Chelsea and the beast. That's Romelu Lukaku. Oh, dude. That was so much better than having Timo run around, prancing around like he knew something.
Yeah, Rom is class. He's good at finding the right spaces and scoring. And it seems like his first touch has become much better now than what it was before with United.
Bro, his first touch was Pablo Mari, man. With his first touch, he was swatting Pablo Mari away.
Yes, but dude, finally Lukaku is the main man at Chelsea. It's taken 10 years and three transfers back and forth and 100 million. But he's it. I think now he's going to stay for 5 years. I don't think there's no turning back from this now.
Yeah, they've just gone back to the template striker, which used to work for them. Like uh, a strong man up front.
Or as Jose has mentioned, a strong man of African origin, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
That's why he got Tammy in, and Tammy got the goalkeeper sent off in the first game and all that.
wait, Jose didn't mention a strong man of African origin. That was implied by you guys.
No, I meant
Oh, dude,
strong
it-
man. I mean, we had Diego Costa also, who was strong
Yeah.
Exactly.
and ugly.
But, come on. I don't think Drogba looked ugly.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Costa.
I'm talking about like Costa. Costa balanced it out for like three strikers of them before they had to get Giroud just to like balance the scales.
Man,
And how?
Costa looked like Afridi at the age of like 6 or something. What the? I was shocked when I first saw him to play at Atletico Madrid. He was like just 22 or something. I was like, oh God, Pakistani cricketer. यहाँ पे भी पहुंच गए.
Gosh.
But yeah, so now, so does this make Chelsea the title favorites? I would say not. I think the title this season is going to be between Manchester United, City, and Chelsea, irrespective
Not
of
West
whether.
Ham.
Oh, we'll get to that, but traditional. We're talking about these three.
Yeah, and I think within those three, more so Chelsea and.
Of course, you would say that.
Oh, I mean, did you watch the game where United played?
Yes, I did.
I don't think so. I mean, what gives you confidence? I don't know.
But every now and then a draw is acceptable.
Fair enough. All right.
So, but yeah, before that, now there's this whole news that Chelsea is going to buy Saul as well. And I think one of the big things about Chelsea is that they somehow managed to sell players at a much better price than most English clubs seem to be able to do. I don't know, how are they doing it? I have no idea. But man, they know how to sell players.
Yeah, but they have the infrastructure, right? And by infrastructure, I mean the personnel, the team behind it, because one of the major revenue streams at Chelsea is the Chelsea loan arm, right? Because they loan out so many players. So I'm sure the same. I mean the skill, the human skill required to sell a player must be similar to loaning the player. So they have the infrastructure there. It'll be interesting. I mean, I was reading an article stating that they're going to limit the number of players above a certain age. I think 23 that will be a part of the loan thing. But it will be interesting how Chelsea tackle that. But yeah.
They will just sell them before 23. So they'll start loaning them out at the age of like 12 or something. They'll go to Vitesse.
This player comes with 10 years of experience. How old is he? 17.
Oh man, but okay. Anyway, so Arteta again coming back to Arsenal because that was such a big game. It just showed like the gulf. And Arteta Baru has time till October, according to another report, where he has to beat like 3 of the 5 teams in the bottom 5 or something. So you think he will manage to do that at least?
No, we have never been like really able to perform, properly against these bottom teams. It's only the mid-table that we thrive against. Unfortunately, it's the end of the road for Arteta now.
Oh, so we're just waiting for it to be done.
Yeah, I mean, because whenever you face the bottom teams, I mean, we just can't we're not the underdogs, right? At least until last year. I can't say much about this year.
All right. So since we're talking this, if he goes, who would become the next Arsenal manager?
I hope they get Ljungberg back in for a bit. I mean,
for like 2 games. I'm talking about like someone will be given more than that.
No, because we need somebody who doesn't get a lot of game time so that we can write legends about them. And, that's how it works for us. We wait for a player to get injured and that just becomes a story of a season. That if this guy was there, it would have been a different season. Eduardo was there, we would have won 2008. Ramsey was there, we would have won 2011. Stuff like that.
What? Are you guys just making up stuff? Even if Ramsey was there, you wouldn't have won 2011. Why would everyone?
No, we would have. I mean, we were on track to win it. The numbers don't lie, Saru.
Why? That's the beauty of big data.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we touched upon this Manchester United. Yash, Scott McTominay doesn't play and they draw a game. Am I drawing too much into this coincidence again?
Probably because he didn't start apparently because he had a knock, and Matic was like a scarecrow in the midfield, and particularly in a game where I don't know, man. I mean, the refereeing was such that they rolled the clock back, maybe not to 20 years to the Blood and Thunder era, but maybe like from 10 years ago when Stevie G used to fly around and evade bookings just on reputation. But yeah, I mean, Ole was complaining that you can't go directly from basketball to rugby. So, I mean, Scott McTominay being the rough big lad that he is, that would have helped us. But I mean, not even God could have stopped Fred from doing what he did.
Wow, Baru, not even God could have stopped United from doing what they did.
No, could have stopped Fred from not allowing United to win the game.
Oh, man. But yeah, I think Scott McTominay is the most important person. I think like Sergio Busquets, they should start writing. Who's the most underrated player of that squad?
No, man, he's clearly not trusted. I mean, I don't know, man. Ole really trusts Fred a lot next to him. He doesn't play him alone. And Fred should not have been allowed back into the Manchester United. It should not have been allowed back into Manchester for allowing Messi to win a international trophy. Oh. He was apparently so bad in that final that he got hauled off at halftime.
Who, Fred? Yeah, or maybe he had a church service to attend.
On Sunday, I mean...
Yes, it's a Sunday.
Yeah. So, but I mean, Ole only took him off at 70 last weekend. So, but when he plays several times, Fred looks like, an elite athlete who has just been taught how to play that sport. Like, imagine if someone saw some Indian elite athlete here, Ravindra Jadeja. If you took Ravindra Jadeja saying that his throws are good, he does that shit with his sword, so he'll be great at lacrosse. And you explain him the rules of lacrosse and you throw him out there with the equipment, maybe he'll run around a lot because he's an elite Indian athlete, but he's not going to do well. That's literally how Fred plays.
Oh God, there's just too much to unpack, Baru. You think Arsenal would take Fred?
No, not really.
Why?
He doesn't fit into the template of little white guy from an Arsenal academy, a little black guy from an Arsenal academy.
When was the last time Arsenal Academy produced a little white guy?
Oh man, yes.
Emil Smith-Rowe.
Oh, yes. All right, Fred the pastor. But United didn't draw the game because of Fred. I think you're just like blaming too much.
Possibly. But he made so many mistakes, and the Southampton team wasn't great, dude. They're there for the taking. And I mean, I don't know, maybe Ole is taking too much from the Ferguson playbook because Fergie teams famously started very slow. But I mean, these games are there for the taking. I mean, he loses, from whatever I've seen in the last 2 seasons, he loses these low pressure games and he puts himself in such a situation that there isn't much pressure later on because there's no chance to win the title.
Man, that is really good management, no?
Yeah, precisely. So United next play, I think Wolves, I think somewhere at the end of October, they have a Liverpool game. So they have a run of pretty easy games, which United should be winning.
Acha. So Baru, Gary Neville says, why is United not taking that extra step? They should just go all out and buy Harry Kane, right? So Gary Bhai is now like really gung-ho on buying of players for his buddy Ole.
Yeah, good for him. What's your question?
My question is, why is Gary Bhai doing all such things?
The answer is maybe he has a cut in the transfer fee or the salary after that interview. Maybe there's
more than a cut. I think he just wants to reduce the number of games he has to watch to keep track of his 2 English loves, Manchester United and Harry Kane. I mean, it'll just work out really well for him.
Oh, guys, I actually read something or heard something interesting about why Harry Kane is not able to secure his move for Manchester City. And you know who is to blame for this?
Arsene Wenger.
Harry Kane's agent, which is his brother or his father.
Gary Kane.
And you know why he's to blame? He's like, he doesn't have any clout in the football industry. His only client is Harry Kane. So Daniel Levy really doesn't have to keep good relations with him. So he said, I'm not entertaining you. He said
he should have taken some tips from the Anelka brothers, man. Those guys really
flogged that
He's a
horse.
brother around, yeah. I mean, exhibited his wares.
Yeah, so
How
the point was that if Harry Kane's agent was George Mendes, he would have been sold by now.
Yeah, probably 3 times in this window already. Like that club in Nigeria who loaned out the player to another club and they ended up selling him. It's business.
What if Manchester City bought Harry Kane and loaned him back to Spurs? ये जाओ.
But that's a classic transaction, no? मतलब वो तो होते रहता है.
हाँ, but they win out the league. So he's still losing the league as a City player now. Oh, while talking about Spurs, Baru, yo, North London rivals, like as much as fun we are making of Harry Kane, Nuno's basically got them 2 victories, 2 1-0s, and they're just moving ahead now.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, like even after an unbeaten start in all of 2 games for Tottenham this season, they're still like outside Champions League positions. So good for them. Good for them.
Is it true, Yash, that there is something called a club which is jinxed?
Yeah, I mean, looking at Tottenham throughout, it feels like that because I mean they're playing in a tournament called the Europa Conference, which is like the 6-7 best teams in Europe, and if they still end up losing that and not winning it, I mean, come on, it has to be a jinx.
They're facing sites which don't even have a Wikipedia page, man. Tottenham fans are creating Wikipedia pages for those teams just so that it doesn't look too bad on them.
Forget
I
that.
think the last team they played against were called Wankers or something, or Anchors.
Wow, Wankers.
Dude, it's not even there on Google. Like, it's not there in the fixture list.
What did you type on Google? Bankers?
No, I just typed Tottenham Hotspur's fixtures. I mean, look, it's not even there.
So what the best thing was, one of those guys didn't have his name and number on the jersey.
Wait, what is Baru trying to show?
My background is blurred, so I think it's all like Japanese.
One of the Paco guys didn't have a name on the jersey.
Yeah, dude, it was total like, I don't know, DSO level football, like inter-school level football. Like he didn't have a number, but the ref, in order to book him or whatever, need a number and name on the jersey, right? So they took a pen and wrote it on the jersey for him, dude. I was like, come on, this brings memories from like when I was 13 and stuff.
And they beat Spurs 1-0. Actually, Nuno was asked about it. He said, I have no words to say what has just happened. This is the most embarrassing moment of my lifetime.
Wait, so if Harry Kane plays in the second leg, does it count as being cup tied or UFA's like...
It doesn't. That's already been clarified. It doesn't.
Oh, in Champions League? No.
No. Even in Conference League, it doesn't.
Which club is he going to go to? Which place?
Paco.
Oh, if he transfers to them, okay. Wow. That's a hypothetical.
He'll just go to Portugal and say, I have a jersey with a number.
Hypothetical, Yash, really? I mean, his brother's an agent who nobody knows. Damn. And plus the Premier League clubs are all upset about, the Britain's rules about the qualifiers, right? That if they go for these countries, they can't come back. And India and Pakistan feature in it. Who are these players who are heading to India and Pakistan for these fixtures, man?
Does Hamza Chaudhary play for...
He's a Bangladeshi.
Oh yeah, even Bangladesh is there in the list. No, it's there in the list. So basically most of the southern hemisphere is there in that list. I don't know where the line, but I think it's the equator.
I'm so looking forward to Harry Kane playing for Odisha FC.
Oh God.
Oh man, we should take a break right now, and after the break we should talk about a few other things, and then we should... Oh, did you guys watch the Danny Ings goal?
Was it a bicycle?
Yeah, kind of. Rooney's bicycle. Oh, did you see that? Yeah, she's like, yeah, let's not waste too much time on such cool goals.
Even Roy Krishna almost scored a bicycle kick in today's AFC Cup playoffs.
Okay, so he didn't score.
Mamata Banerjee is actually stepping in for East Bengal because their sponsors backed out at the last minute.
Who are the sponsors? Kingfisher?
Shree Cements, tha.
Oh, why? What happened?
They kept them hanging for like 2 or 3 months that it's totally done. The deal is on. We'll pay you ISL entry fees and everything, franchisee fees. And now at the last minute, these guys, I think ISL goes on in a couple of months or something.
Man, she's doing a Naveen Patnaik except for football, I guess.
Yeah. Now Mamta is like, listen, I don't want to like get into their daily workings and everything, but I'll see what I can do.
So even she has not done anything.
No, not yet.
So everyone's just keeping East Bengal. Like, unka agent who is their agent?
Gary Kid. Gori.
Oh, that's so Bengali. Okay, I think we should take a break right now. Let's stay tuned to Football Total.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. We have a new collaboration with Hunts Magazine, and there's a show called Hunts Wani that's come out from that. Treat yourself to Sarita Panti's beautiful ghazal Dar Raha Hai Muskurane Se Koi, voiced by Jashne Kalam artist Shashwata Sharma. On Postcards from Nowhere, discover how two different systems on writing were developed, one in Kashmir and one in Kerala. Kunal and Shivani Rajput talk about fitness, entrepreneurship, sibling rivalry, and share their Raksha Bandhan plans on Agla Station Adulthood. Dr. Rajiv and Manik Deshmukh share the love story behind their 52-year-old marriage on Marathi Kid Ki Tun. Chuck tells us about 5 lessons he's learned on The Habit Coach with Ashton. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any other show for that matter, please do tell a friend. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors on the network this week, Seat, Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quarter, CoinSwitch, Kuber, and Intuit India. Thank you so much for making this possible.
All right, welcome back to Football Total. A few matches to just go through. Yes, as we discussed last week, Norwich City doesn't learn. And just to continue on that theme, they're just gifting goals to everyone in City team.
Absolutely, man. I mean, of course, just to make it seem a little saucy, I said they're going to win 1-0, but as predicted.
Do you have any shame? Let's start with that.
No, but come on, I make such stupid predictions just to keep things interesting. Yeah, but I mean, did you see that Grealish goal? I mean, I'm sure he was trying to make people believe that he meant it.
Dude, he didn't mean it. There's no way on earth he meant that.
Yeah.
But
Rank.
Oh, God.
And the first goal was an own goal. It's just, I mean, come on, yeah. Norwich is, what can I say?
Norwich, dude, they're going to go down.
Yeah.
There is nothing.
And thrash the teams in a championship for the next season. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Another question, Baru. How good is Patrick Vieira now that Crystal Palace have a draw with Brentford?
Get on the hype train, bro.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's this is the beginning of their invincible season.
Dude, beginning. They'll have a 37 game streak.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we all know what happened in the dressing room after the loss, right, in the first game for Crystal Palace.
What happened? Please elaborate.
Haven't all of us heard about the Vieira story in his dressing room?
Oh, wow.
Where when he's got something to talk or reprimand somebody in the dressing room, he simply whips out.
Wait, that was LVG, no?
What?
No, dude, that was
Wrong story.
No, LVG did this at Bayern.
Wait, okay, what are we talking about?
Wait, what does Vieira whip out?
No, what are we talking about, Saru?
Oh, God.
I'm not talking about his tactics board.
Yeah.
LVG did apparently take out his balls and say, look, I got balls.
That's exactly what
Honest.
That's exactly what
Honest.
LVG did in the Bayern dressing room.
Yeah, but that was just watch and not touch, right?
What? Here Vieira is making them touch. What are you doing?
Touch, like without. So apparently the whole allegation in that unconfirmed post from allegedly Anelka, I think I've covered all bases over here now. Vieira actually like whipped it out and like smacked him across his face with his dong.
Why are you doing this? Sorry, what the hell?
Wait, was this?
Yeah.
I hope it was not on Zaha.
This
No,
is
it's some random Orkut forward, which
Yeah, this has been a
It
part
became
of
famous.
internet lore since a long time, Saru. Like, how have you not come across this?
I will check out. I will check this out on Reddit. But I think then he's a great manager. He might I want to talk about Wilfred Zaha, but I think we should move on. Oh man, this is such an Arsenal heavy episode. Shane Duffy, Yash,
Yeah.
plays so well for Brighton. It makes seem Ben White useless. And that's why Ben White ends up at Arsenal.
Oh man.
Yeah, but Dunk and Duffy were like a set pair for them, right? They've always
Why did Arsenal then pay 50 million for Ben White?
because he's up and coming and he's gonna have a long career at Arsenal.
He didn't have a long career at Brighton also. If Duffy and Dunk
Yeah,
were the
but
ones.
he did play under our great majestic grandfather, no?
Oh,
That's what they're hoping.
I see.
That they're hoping that magic rubs off on the rest of the squad.
All right. Okay, who has been your player?
I thought the only magic that's being rubbed off is happening at Crystal Palace.
It's
man.
probably being sprayed on. Oh God, who has been your player of the week, guys? Let's move on from Vieira's schlong.
Dude.
Oh man.
My player of the week is CFL James, bro.
Oh,
He had
dude,
such a good game against Arsenal. I think
were you
they're
hurt that
they're
he was
playing-
playing so well?
they're playing a back five, right? He found so much space, which is
Yes,
brilliant.
but then I don't think he found space because of something great he did. It's just Arsenal were so bad. So shouldn't you say your player of the week is the Arsenal guy who gave the opportunity for James to flourish?
Who was it holding Mari?
Saka.
Soares, right? Cedric Soares.
Saka.
Saka
Saka was
Saka
playing
had-
left back.
quite an off day. He was providing no support to Kieran Tierney.
Oh God, that guy gets injured all the time. Anyway,
Yeah.
You care one 18-year-old is a Sahara for a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, but Reece James, yeah, he had a good game. Baru, who has been your player of the week?
I think I'll go with Antonio.
Dude, is
Because
it
of
because
that.
he kisses his own life-size posters?
Yes, and the heavily orchestrated celebration that he had. It just shows how much confidence he has in his scoring abilities. And as an up and coming striker myself, I really value that confidence.
brilliant.
Oh, is that so? Yeah, a word
But I
on
also
West-
hate him because he destroyed my FPL yet again, man. I mean,
I
till
was
the West Ham game in each week, I've been in the top, 10,000 or whatever, 50,000 in the world. And then Antonio comes in along with Benrahma and they destroy it completely. And I'm in like one of those 20%, 15% people who don't have these two.
Yeah, but my question then to you, Baru, I mean, is that why are you not keeping West Ham players in your FPL? West Ham is a team which does well. David Moyes has finally found his mojo back.
Yeah, it was one game, man. Second game was Leicester City, who finished fifth last season. So
Yes,
I was expecting a close game, not drubbing from these fake Londoners.
Dude.
Dude, they're
So-
called West Ham and they're in the east of London, aren't they?
Oh, that's your problem. God, yes, Arsenal are what best team in London? Like, if you have to rank London teams, they're not even in the top 5 London teams now.
I don't know. What's the radius of
Are we
London?
not?
Okay, I mean, just take the London area. So Chelsea is number 1, right?
Chelsea, Spurs,
Brentford is also London, right?
I don't know.
हो गया खत्म. Okay, Tata, bye bye. See you.
Watford is also London 5.
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. Oh shit. 7th best team in London, man.
The 7th.
But at least we're still second best in North London. Oh wait, where's Brentford from?
Watford is too far north, I believe. I don't know. I don't know the job.
It is very North London.
Oh yeah, Watford is like next to Arsenal ka training ground or something, right?
Is it?
हो गया.
Yeah.
You're third best in North London.
So Wenger actually planted trees between the two training grounds so that Watford couldn't spy on them.
Dude.
If Bielsa was there, he would have climbed those trees also. With binoculars.
Yeah.
All right. Wait, did Baru say Antonio? My player of the week is Romelu Lukaku. It's here finally, the moment which makes everyone happy, and I hope he has a long and successful career. All right, guys, we don't have much time. What are the games you are seeing this weekend? Oh, and I also have to say, Tammy Abraham also has been my player of the week. None of you guys saw Roma, but man, that guy was just like buzzing around, running around. So much fun that was.
Awesome, buddy.
What?
Awesome. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
The
I thought he
confidence
said
that he
Arsene
gives to
Wenger.
Mourinho is brilliant.
Dude, I don't know all of that, but it was one game where Mkhitaryan, it's like watching a retro show where Tammy, Mickey, Smalling didn't play. I think he was injured or something. So,
Wow,
yeah, that made it easier for Roma.
that's great.
All right. What are the games you guys are seeing this week?
Oh, I am going to see a London derby between Tottenham and Watford just to see whether the Nuno revolution is real.
But it's against Watford.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, if they win 1-0 again, then it's not real. If they thrash them, then something's happening.
Oh, that way. But if they win 1-0, they would have still got 9 points from 3 games, no?
But it's okay. They'll fall off. It will be a typical Wolves type season.
Acha. So, what is your prediction for the game?
Oh, I'm predicting a 3-1 win for Tottenham. It's going to be an entertaining game
Will
despite.
Harry Kane score a goal for Tottenham?
Yeah. He'll score a goal. 100%.
And will those be his final goals?
No.
Tottenham?
I doubt he's going to go anywhere. No, it's too late.
Because of Gary Kane.
Yeah, Gary.
What is his actual name?
By talking so much about him.
Wait, let me Google Harry Kane father name. Harry Kane father.
Gareth.
And who's the maths wizard here? Like, what are the?
Wait, Harry Kane father Pat Kane. It's so weird. Harry Kane
That's
father
pretty
Pat.
forward.
Dude, I'll send you guys a photo. It says Harry Kane father. I type on Google. It says Pat Kane, and then the people also search for Kylian Mbappe, Jack Grealish, and Son Heung-min.
What the?
Wow.
Wonder what connects all of them.
All right, Baru, what
But
game
yeah,
are
Saru,
you?
what is the probability of having a London derby every week this year, man? We have 7 teams from London in the.
But that almost happens every year. 5 at
Um,
least. There are 5 teams.
But now
Is
we have
West Ham Crystal Palace this week, and next week we have Brentford. Oh, sorry, Crystal Palace Tottenham.
oh shit, Crystal Palace Tottenham.
Anyway,
Yeah. So this week, what are you going to watch?
I'll probably, I don't know, who's West Ham facing, man.
Crystal Palace.
But Yash is already watching that, right?
No, he's
Watching
not. Yes,
Tottenham.
he's watching Tottenham Watford. At least
God.
listen to what your friends are saying during recording.
Two London derbies in 1 week itself, man. What is this behavior, bro?
Okay, so you're watching. What are you watching? Crystal Palace and
I'll probably watch Arsenal versus Man City because it's been a while when I've seen the Arteta template.
oh, imagine if Arteta beats Pep. Remember that video where Pep is just looking at an empty chair?
Yeah, but this has to happen, right? For that entire circle to be complete, which comes up every year. That the Premier League is such a complete league where everyone beats everyone.
Yes.
So hona hi padega.
So what's your prediction then? A 4-1 victory for Arsenal.
No, I'll still go with a City victory. I mean, I don't think that circle is going to get complete this year.
But what's the margin going to be?
Like a 3-4-0 to City.
Oh, cool. And
I've already shortlisted the goals that will come in the goal of the month
you
for all those
shortlisted
people who are chasing Arsenal and making these fake news memes.
Okay.
We closed that loophole long back. Okay, we've been including our youth teams, our academy, our women's teams in that goal of the month.
What are you? Oh, goal! Oh,
Goal of the month.
Goal of the month. Oh, dude!
Yeah.
I hope they score 1 goal.
The women have already scored 2 goals against Chelsea, so we've got 2 contenders already. So yeah, good for us.
Imagine the Arsenal score 1 goal and that's a penalty, right?
But that's what I'm saying, right? I mean, it includes all of these other goals, which are much better than.
They become inclusive.
Quite.
Yeah.
We are on top of the table when it comes to brownie points.
No, you're not. What are you saying? How? But anyway, I'm going to be watching Jigra versus Gouda.
Liverpool versus Chelsea.
Yes.
Nice.
This is it. It's the Germans, the clash of the Germans.
Oh,
Man. Okay, I don't know who's going to win, Virgil van Dijk or Romelu Lukaku, but I think since Van Dijk's just come back from injury, Lukaku will basically crush him. And it's going to be a easy 1-0 victory for Chelsea with Azpilicueta scoring. That'll be so cool. Alrighty. Chalo, Yash.
all right, buddy. Take care.
And I'm going to pray for an Arsenal victory against City so that Then next week's episode is going to be full on fun.
Oh God!
Vieira being appointed as City manager.
If Arsenal win by 9 goals, they'll overtake City on the table.
Yeah, that's the dream. On that happy note, take care, Baru.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
A wise man once said, traveling, it makes you speechless, then turns you into a storyteller.
Well, listen to such travel stories and experiences exploring India on the Musafir Stories with us, Saif and Faiza.
Catch us on the IVM website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Working Monday to Friday glued to your chair making you feel dull? Worry not. Get your 5-minute weekly dose of travel around the world with Postcards from Nowhere. Join me every Thursday as I explore the strange, obscure, and fascinating parts of the world and bring out facets of travel you may not have thought of before. You can find us on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcast from.